You know, for the longest time, I thought the Fast and Furious movies were just silly films about cars. I didn't give them a chance, to be honest. I would see the trailers and think, who watches these? But then, something happened. Fast 5 came out, and it really shook things up for me. The trailers looked genuinely exciting, with crazy car stunts and The Rock joining the cast. I couldn't help but feel curious. So, I decided to watch the first few films and prepare for Fast 5. And guess what? I ended up loving them. It was a big surprise.
That's such a cool change of heart. It's amazing how sometimes our first impressions don't match what something truly is. This podcast will explore that journey of realizing the worth of Fast and Furious. We'll dive into the unique parts of the series that make it so special. The evolution from simple car races to grand adventures is fascinating. I'm really excited to go on this ride and reveal how this series went from being just those car movies to a beloved franchise. Let's dig into what makes these movies stand out and why they have captured the hearts of many.
It's interesting how movies can change over time, right? The early Fast and Furious films were seen as just dumb car films. The critics weren't kind either. The first few movies didn't get great scores, often in the 20s or 30s on Rotten Tomatoes. But something changed with Fast 5. That movie brought a new energy. People who never cared about the series before started to notice. And it's fascinating because it wasn't just about fast cars anymore. It was about so much more.
Yes, it's like a complete transformation. Early on, many people didn't give the series a chance because of the first impressions. But by the time Fast 5 hit the screens, everything seemed different. Suddenly, it was about thrilling adventures and big action. The series grew beyond street racing. It's like understanding a person as they grow up. There's depth to appreciate. This growth is why the franchise became so successful, and it's amazing to see how it developed into something special.
I think Fast 5 was the turning point everybody needed. Before that, the series felt a bit stuck in the same place, you know? With Fast 5, they added new elements like famous actors and thrilling chases, and adding characters like The Rock brought a new life. It made the audience see these were not just car movies, but action-packed stories with high stakes. These changes helped redefine what Fast and Furious could be, and the movies started getting better reception.
Absolutely, and it's this evolution that makes the series so fascinating. When you look at where it started compared to where it is now, you see a journey. It transformed from being misunderstood to becoming a beloved series, with layers and more complex plots. Each movie brings something new while still keeping the core excitement. And that's why understanding this growth and transformation is key to appreciating why so many people love Fast and Furious today.
Looking back, the Fast and Furious series really changed from its simple beginnings. Remember when it all started with just street races? Now the series has turned into something much bigger, like huge action shows. There's so much happening now, from big cars flying around to crazy chases. And then, out of nowhere, big names like The Rock joined in. His addition brought something fresh and thrilling to the series. It's amazing how these films have changed over time.
Absolutely. The series has grown from being seen as just movies about cars to something much more. It's like a complete adventure now with deep stories and thrilling action. Many people started realizing there's more than just cars zooming around. With each new film, the plot gets more interesting. The action scenes make you jump from your seat. This transformation is what made Fast and Furious stand out over the years. That's why more people got hooked.
Yes, Fast and Furious truly became a new source of action. The film started to pack in more layers with each sequel. You see, after some time, they took the street racing out of the central focus and embraced bigger stories. Just look at the exciting plots and intense chases. They always leave the audience wanting more. When they brought in new characters like The Rock, it gave the films extra power. His character added a lot of excitement to the series.
That's right. Each movie now feels like a new adventure. The series keeps adding new twists and turns, drawing people deeper into the story. Not to mention how the character stories developed. We see different sides of them, making us relate more to their journeys. The bigger and more exciting scenes are what capture the audience's attention. It's fascinating to watch this evolution from simple racetracks to grand tales with high stakes. It's no wonder these movies are beloved worldwide.
In the world of Fast and Furious, you might think it's all about cars racing, but there's more. Let's start with two key characters, Dom and Brian. Dom, played by Vin Diesel, is like the heart of the crew. Brian, played by Paul Walker, starts as an undercover cop, but soon he becomes part of the family. Their friendship grows and changes. They move from being on opposite sides to having a deep bond. I think this connection is what draws people in. It's not just about the action, but about these human relationships too.
Yes, and when we talk about these relationships, it's fascinating how they develop. Like Dom and Letty, their love story is quite central to the series. Even when Letty disappears, Dom never stops believing. It shows a commitment and love that goes beyond just action scenes. Then, with Brian and Roman, their dynamic is unique too. They're like brothers who tease each other, but there's a deep trust. Watching their interactions brings humor and warmth to the movies. These character arcs are what make Fast and Furious more than just action.
Indeed, what's cool is how these characters evolve. At the start, Dom seems like a simple racer, but as the series continues, you see he's more than that. He's loyal, smart, and cares deeply for his family. Brian, on the other hand, begins as someone divided between duty and friendship. Over time, he learns to balance both. This growth makes their storylines engaging, and there are fun new faces too, like Roman, who adds lots of humor and charm. These changes keep us curious about what the characters will do next.
Absolutely. And these dynamics aren't just between main characters. Look at how Han brings a cool, relaxed vibe. He's one of the most loved and brings balance to the group. Then we have the strong women characters like Letty and Mia. They don't just stand by, they're vital to the team's success. Their stories are about strength, resilience, and love. Watching their stories unfold across the films shows us that these movies have depth. They create a world where everyone plays a part, making the movies both thrilling and heartfelt.
Let's talk about some key moments in Fast and Furious that changed everything. One big one is Han's death in Tokyo Drift. It was a shock for many fans, right? Han became a favorite character, but his end showed that these movies have real stakes. Another turning point was Letty's return. We thought she was gone, but when she came back, it was huge. It changed the dynamics and brought new excitement to the story.
Absolutely. These moments added depth and kept us on our toes. Now, when Justin Lin and Chris Morgan came into the series, they really made a difference. They gave the movies a new feel. The driving scenes improved a lot, making them look real and more thrilling. They used practical effects instead of just CGI, which made the action feel more intense. It added a layer of authenticity that fans really appreciated.
I agree. The addition of practical effects was such a smart move. When you watch those car chases, it's clear they're not just computer-made. You can feel the adrenaline and the thrill. Now, going back to Tokyo Drift, it also changed how stories were told in this series. It introduced new characters and shifted the series to focus more on character growth. It wasn't just about racing anymore. It was about deeper stories that connected with the audience.
That's true. And let's not forget how Tokyo Drift set the stage for future films. It was like the series found its voice with that movie. Even though it seemed different at first, it brought freshness to the franchise. Han's character started there, and his influence carried through many more movies. It showed how important it is to have a good storyline with interesting characters that keep fans hooked.
You know, Fast 5 was really the game changer for the Fast and Furious series. Before this movie, many people, including myself, just thought of these as basic car movies. But Fast 5 was different. It introduced such unique elements that really set it apart. There was this blend of action and story that hadn't been seen in the earlier films. It was like, whoa, this series just got real. The way they combined more serious heist planning with insane car stunts was something no one expected.
Exactly. Fast 5 really showed us what the Fast and Furious movies could become. It shifted from just street races and turned into these big heist adventures. And let's not forget one of the biggest additions to the movie, the introduction of The Rock. His presence alone changed the vibe of the whole film. He brought a fresh energy that brought suspense and fun. The movie had a mix of everything, family, action, and thrills, and all of this made Fast 5 a standout chapter in the series.
What made Fast 5 stand out the most was this heist formula they embraced. It was such a smart move because it added layers to the story. It wasn't just about the cars anymore, it was about planning and execution, similar to those classic heist movies. This change in direction helped the movie appeal to a broader audience. People who loved action, suspense, and clever plan-making found something to love. That's a big reason why Fast 5 helped elevate the entire franchise to the popular heights it reached.
And let us not overlook The Rock's addition. His character, Luke Hobbs, brought a whole new dynamic to the team. Suddenly, there was this physical powerhouse with clever one-liners and a no-nonsense attitude. His character provided the perfect foil to Vin Diesel's Dom, and their interactions added so much excitement. This made not just Fast 5 but the whole series feel more alive. It marked the start of a new era where the Fast and Furious franchise was not confined to certain types of stories or fans. It was truly evolving into something special.
Let's jump into the cultural impact that Fast and Furious has had. One of the most striking things is how diverse this series is. The cast comes from all around the world, bringing various cultures together. This diversity has made the franchise appealing to a global audience who see themselves represented on screen. It's really cool to watch a movie where different people work together as a family, showing unity and strength.
That's a great point. The series doesn't just stop at being culturally diverse. It has influenced car culture worldwide. Many fans have become interested in car tuning and racing because of these movies. It has inspired car clubs and events where people share their love for cars. Beyond cars, the Fast and Furious franchise has sparked lively debates among fans about which movie is the best, and everyone seems to have their own ranking. This kind of passion keeps the series alive and engaging.
It's amazing how these debates bring people together. Whether online or at fan events, people love discussing the crazy stunts, plot twists, and characters. Additionally, the series has left a big mark on pop culture. References from the movies are everywhere, in memes, TV shows, and even music. This shows how the franchise is not just a series of movies, it's a part of our everyday lives. It's fun to see how it continues to influence different areas of media.
Absolutely. The Fast and Furious movies have become more than just entertainment. They've become a global phenomenon. The excitement they bring has helped promote a positive view of team spirit and working together for a common goal. This idea connects with many people and shows why the series is cherished by fans around the world. And this cultural influence is a big reason why it stands the test of time, remaining popular even as new movies are released.
With each new release, the fan base grows, making the Fast and Furious family even larger. The franchise's ability to adapt and stay relevant shows that it understands its audience. The shared excitement over each new stunt or character twist is infectious, encouraging fans to gather and celebrate together. This enthusiasm is a great example of how these movies create a communal experience, making every movie night feel like an event.
Yes. And let's not forget how the Fast and Furious series showcases powerful themes of perseverance and loyalty. Even as the series evolves, at its heart, it's about family and friendship. These themes resonate deeply with audiences worldwide, keeping them coming back for more. The impact it has left on both fans and the media will undoubtedly continue for many years. It's truly a testament to the power of storytelling and representation in film.
Today we talked about the journey of the Fast and Furious series. We explored how it started as simple car movies and changed into huge action films that fans love. We met special characters like Dom and Brian and saw how their actions changed the whole story over time. The movies became famous for their exciting scenes and amazing car chases, which brought in new fans everywhere.
We hope you enjoyed our chat about Fast and Furious. If you have any thoughts or favorite moments from the series, please share them with us. Don't forget to like and comment on our podcast. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to stay updated with more talks about movies and pop culture. See you in the next episode and feel free to share with friends who love Fast and Furious too.